Hey Mustangs, welcome back to another episode of The Spill. It's Wednesday, February the 19th of 2020. I'm your host Sam Reeves and I'm here with Kristen Anderson.
For this episode of The Spill, we'll be talking about France, NASCAR, and the move over law.
Stay tuned for the latest.
Your mom and dad, I'm doing fine. You guys are on my mind. You asked me what I wanted to be, and now I think the answer is plain to see. I wanna be famous. I wanna live close to the sun. Oh, pack your bags, cause I've already won. Everything to prove, nothing in my way. I'll get there one day. Cause I wanna be famous.
In world news today, a decree signed by the mayors in rural parts of Sarthe, an area west of Paris, says requiring medical care because of an accident or sickness is prohibited. They say that their aim is to warn the government about the difficulties of accessing health services in the area. Staffing issues, bed shortages, and the closing of facilities were among the problems that they talked about. The 4-article decree says that it is forbidden to seek medical attention, have an accident, or to be born with health problems in the area. The decree does not have any power for the law, but has been described as a symbolic but strong act by the mayors.
In national news, President Donald Trump has made a historic election year flyover of the Daytona International Speedway and was given the honor of telling drivers to start their engines after taking a few laps around the track. The president's appearance caused headaches for fans trying to enter the speedway as hundreds of people waited up to 3 hours to get through the gates. This appearance is likely a part of Trump's re-election campaign, as the New York billionaire is running for office again in 2020.
In local news, the move over law says drivers need to move over for any emergency vehicle like a tow truck, police car, fire truck, or TDOT crew, but some are ignoring that rule altogether. One tow truck driver, Nate Martin, is shedding light on the important rule after he says he was nearly run off the road by a car. As he was loading up a different car, a vehicle drove right past him as he said it was too close for comfort. In this day and age, people are just not moving over from distracted driving, and I'm not guaranteed to go home, said Martin. He blames the incident on distracted driving and says even if it's not an emergency vehicle, you should move over just in case. Now after the break, Sam brings us a look at a doll from a parade. Stay tuned.
For our top story today, when a person gets called up to a float at Mardi Gras parade, it's usually a sign they're about to get something special, what seasoned parade goers might call a good throw. But what one young girl got instead was something disturbing. There was an intensely racist doll handed to the little girl. It was a stuffed black doll dressed in a red and white gown and an apron, also known as a mammy doll, a personification that perpetuates offensive stereotypes about African Americans, with beads hung around the doll's neck in the shape of a noose. Police are on the case right now to figure out who gave her the doll and why. That's all for your news today. Now for your Walker Valley weather. Thanks guys. Hey Mustangs, how's it going? It's Sam Reeves here with the daily Walker Valley weather report. Anyways, enough said, let's get right into it. So the high for today, February the 19th of 2020, is going to sit in the upper 50s until it drops to around 38 degrees by 8 o'clock for our daily low. Our current Walker Valley real feel temperature is 39 degrees as of right now, and our chance of rain overall for today is 10%. That's all for your daily Walker Valley weather report, and with that I'm going to toss it back to you guys in the studio.
What's up, Walker Valley? I'm Madison.
And I'm Lori, and this is your exciting pop culture news.
Young Thug is coming under fire for misgendering Dwayne Wade's daughter. The rapper is one of the few people to come against Zaya. In a tweet directed at the 12-year-old, he stated, "All I want to say to Dwayne's son is God don't make mistakes, but hey, live your true life." Immediately after, Young Thug was hit with a lot of tweets accusing him of being transphobic. Then just a few hours later, he appeared to delete the same exact tweet.
There was never a guarantee that we'd be getting a new Justin Bieber album on this or any day. For a minute there, it seemed as through the development years spent under the most intensive spotlights had damaged the superstar's relationship with his first love, music. In March of last year, he told his fan base that despite their clear desire for a new album, his focus was anywhere but.
That's all for your pop culture news today. I'm Madison.
And I'm Lori. Now on to your sports with Matthew and Adam.
Whoops.
Hey Mustangs, we're here with the first episode of Inside Walker Valley Sports, and today we're here with Coach Campbell, varsity basketball coach, and I'm here to ask him a few questions. So the first question, Coach, is how do you feel about your team's performance so far this season?
Yeah, I think we've had a good season so far. Kind of up and down some in the middle there, but I think we had a lot of injuries early on that kind of hurt our consistency. But, you know, we're playing hard. We're playing some good basketball right now heading into the tournament, so I feel good about where we're at.
Second question is, how do you motivate your players for a big game?
You know, we got a lot of older guys, a lot of seniors, and they've played a lot of basketball, so there's not a lot I have to do to motivate them to come out and play hard. They're ready to play most nights. I mean, obviously, some games are bigger than others, you know, and so, but we just kind of take one game at a time, and every game matters to us and is important, and they usually are ready to go most games. So.
Third question is, have there been any players on the team so far that have performed over expectations?
I mean, I don't know about over expectations, but I think, you know, some guys have really stepped up here lately. Jake Smith, for instance, has been playing really good here lately, and, you know, I'm proud of him for that. I think Seth Salzwell has kind of stepped up, and he's in a starting role now, which has been a big step for him, playing a guard. So that's a big move for him, and I think going forward that'll help us in the next, you know, he's only a sophomore, so a couple of years we'll have him still after this year. So, I mean, those two guys kind of stand out to me. But everybody's played really well. I don't think – and I expected those guys to do well, but they've just – you know, I guess they've done what I expected them to in a lot of ways, and they've really been playing well lately. So,
are there any traits that you try to instill to your players, not only for on the court but for off the court?
Yeah, I mean, sports in general is kind of I always refer to it as to a pressure cooker, you know, because it's such a short time frame and you deal with all these emotions, and so you're forced to look at yourself a lot and how you deal with situations, whether it's adversity or whether there's good times. So we just try to talk a lot about that on the court, but also those same lessons carry over off, you know, character, integrity, perseverance, how to do things the right way are all really important things that we talk about, you know, just handling yourself as a man and, you know, being, I guess, professional and responsible in the way that you conduct business. So those are important things that I want all our guys to leave here, whether we win or lose ball games, is kind of secondhand to the things they can learn as how to be a man and how to handle life once they get out of here. So.
Okay, that's all I have for Coach Campbell here. I would like to thank Coach Campbell for doing this interview, and make sure to tune in next time. What's up, Mustangs? I'm Matthew, and I'm here with my co-host Coleman, and we're here today to give you your daily sports news. After only half a season, John Beilein is leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers as head coach. In his short time, he went 14-40 with the Cavaliers. The Cavs are promoting assistant head coach J.B. Bickerstaff to become a full-time head coach. Bickerstaff has experience as a head coach with the Memphis Grizzlies and Houston Rockets.
The three-time Pro Bowler Greg Olsen and the Seattle Seahawks have agreed to a one-year deal worth $7 million. Olsen had 52 catches for 597 yards and 2 touchdowns this past season. In his career, he had 718 catches for 8,444 yards and 59 touchdowns. Tight end was a place of need for the Seahawks, with Will Dissly coming off a ruptured Achilles he had suffered last season. That's all for our show today. Like us on the Facebook and follow us on Twitter @TheSpillTV. I'm Coleman.
And I'm Matthew, and have a great day, and thanks for watching.